I rank local businesses so fast that people often think I hacked Google. And honestly, I kind of get it. I understand why. When you rank a local business from position 3.36 to 1.23 in just 2 weeks, that's not normal. But honestly, I didn't hack anything. I just gave Google exactly what it wanted. Now, most agencies are applying regular SEO tactics to local search, promising 6-month timelines while their clients lose money waiting for results that never come. So in this video, I'm going to show you the 5-step system that ranks local businesses in 2 weeks instead of in 6 months. I'll also show you why Google's local algorithm wants 3 specific things that most agencies completely miss. And finally, the exact AI prompts and tools that do 90% of this work for you. Now, I've been running a 7-figure SEO agency since 2016, and this system has helped hundreds of local businesses go from invisible to fully booked. But first, let me show you why this HVAC contractor in Kansas City was stuck at position 3.36 for months, even though we were doing everything right. Now, we had great content, solid backlinks, we followed every SEO playbook, but look at this ranking map. Barely any green coverage beyond their immediate area. Google didn't trust that they could serve their customers beyond this core circle here, especially as we get south farther closer to Kansas City proper. The algorithm was only confident showing this business to people who were very close to their address. So here's what made this even more painful. This HVAC contractor was bleeding money. They had 3 employees sitting around with nothing to do. Truck payments are due. His wife asking why the SEO expert they'd been paying for months hadn't really moved the needle. Does this sound familiar to anyone out there? So I realized something and it changed everything. Google's local algorithm isn't just looking at your website like in regular SEO. It's trying to solve a completely different problem that most SEO agencies don't even understand. So think about it from Google's perspective. When someone searches HVAC near me, Google needs to show businesses that can actually drive up and fix the broken air conditioner, not some national company writing blog posts about maintenance tips. Google has spent 25 years trying to figure out if a business is worth recommending based on nothing except what Google can see about that business online. So once I understood this, everything clicked. I developed a specific 5-step system that gives Google exactly what it's looking for. But before I show you that system, I want you to see what happened to this HVAC contractor in Kansas City when we implemented it. Here they are, and 2 weeks later, look at this transformation. Green dots everywhere. This HVAC contractor's phone started ringing off the hook. He went from 3 guys sitting around to being booked out for weeks. His wife went from questioning the investment in SEO to asking if they could hire more employees. And here's the crazy part. We didn't write a single blog post. We didn't build hundreds of backlinks. We didn't use CTR or map links or any tactics like that, just designed to trick Google. All we did was give Google's local search algorithm exactly what it was looking for. So what does Google's local algorithm actually want? There are 3 specific things, and if you miss any of them, you're going to be stuck in local SEO purgatory, just like our HVAC contractor in Kansas City was, no matter how good your traditional SEO actually is. Google wants proof that you're a real business, proof that you serve the area, and proof other local entities recognize you. If you miss any of these, you're going to be invisible. Remember that position 4 is completely invisible. But here's how we give Google exactly what it wants. This first step sounds simple, but 90% or more of local businesses get this completely wrong. They have maybe 5 pages on their website when they should have 30, or they have 300 pages, but they're all worthless blog posts. Please stop wasting your time writing blog posts. It's not about having more pages, it's about what those pages show Google. So you need to build out what I call the core 30. That's 1 page for every category and every service on your Google business profile. But here's the key. They need to be structured so that they match the Google business profile exactly. If your GBP says air conditioning repair, the page title must include air conditioning repair with the city name. Character for character. Now, it can include other words, of course, but it must include those characters so that Google knows it matches the Google Business Profile. Google needs to see that your website and GBP are talking about the same business. When they match perfectly, Google gains confidence that you're legitimate. So let me show you this AI prompt. Wait until you see what it actually outputs. You're going to be amazed by how incredibly specific it's going to get. So let's find an HVAC contractor to analyze really quickly with this prompt. So my go-to example is Fort Wayne, Indiana, not for any particular reason. It is a mid-sized city in the Midwest, and it's just a very typical example of a city that we might like to do local SEO for business professionals. Not Houston, not Chicago, too big, too competitive. Fort Wayne, Indiana is just right. I searched for HVAC contractor Fort Wayne, Indiana, and I don't want to take a look at the top 3. I want to find somebody who's a little bit lower. So if we hit more businesses, we're going to see this here. So we hit more businesses and we can see this here. These are the top 3. And what I'm looking for is someone who's not in the top 3, but has a bunch of reviews. And here's a good one, right? Doc Dancer 4.9, 1900 reviews. They've done the hard stuff. They got the reviews, but they're not ranked in the top 3. And look, 1900 reviews, that's more than any of the top 3. I always say local reviews are not a huge ranking factor. People give me flack for that. There's so many examples just like this. More reviews, better reviews, not in the top 3. Anyway, what I'm going to do next for Doc Dancer is I'm going to run a local ranking map for them. So the tool we use for that is called LeadSnap. So let me head on over to LeadSnap. So I'm going to hit new heat map, and then I'm just going to search for Doc Dancer. And this is them, 4.9, 1,886 reviews, and they're in Fort Wayne, Indiana. So that is the business. Then I'll click on keywords and I'll do air conditioning repair, Fort Wayne. In my experience, HVAC technicians really like air conditioning repair the most. Often somebody who is calling for air conditioning repair issues actually needs a new air conditioner. So hit close and then we'll run the scan. Okay, so here's my completed heat map. This gives me an idea of where they're currently ranked. So you can see that we're going to start with home comfort experts. Their average rank is 3.2, and these are sorted by average rank. So here we are, Doc Dancer, average rank 9.5 with 16% in the top 3. Remember, if you're not in the top 3, you're absolutely invisible. This is saying that home comfort experts is 62% visible across Fort Wayne, and Doc Dancer is 16.5%. So let's take a look at their website. This is the Doc Dancer website. One of the first things I always do is I'll do a site colon search. That tells me how big the website is. Doc Dancer, 385 results. That's a pretty big website, but they're not ranked very well. So this is a sign that maybe they've been doing weekly blog posts or something like that, but they've been producing the wrong type of content. So here's their actual GBP. And you can see I'm now using GMB Everywhere. It's a free plugin because I want to be able to see their GBP categories and services. So if I hit find more here from GBP Everywhere, then I'm going to see this. So these are the categories. It's recommending some related ones, and then here are some services. Okay, so let me show you that prompt at long last. Okay, so this is my school community where that prompt lives, 2,600 SEO professionals in here. I try to answer every single question. You can see I'm a little behind, but I'm going to get there. So I'm going to head over to the classroom and I'm going to hit modern SEO, and then I'm going to come down to my local website SEO analysis prompt. So I'm going to copy this prompt. Feel free to use AI to grab this if you don't want to join school, no problem. So I'm going to give this prompt over to Claude. I'm going to switch this over to Opus, which is the better model for this type of analysis. Perfect. Okay, so now I need a Screaming Frog run. So this is Screaming Frog. I did this offline, but you can see I ran Doc Dancer. So what I'm going to do is export the internal all. And then I'm going to export links all. All right, so I'm going to give Claude the internal all and the links all files. You can see we've told Claude here that we're going to give that. The homepage content. So I'm just gonna hit Control A. I'm going to copy it, come back into my prompt and paste it in. And then GBP categories. So here I'm going to copy all. Again, come back into the prompt. And then GBP services. Again, come down here, copy all, give it the prompt. And city name, we're going to give it, of course, Fort Wayne, Indiana. And we'll run the prompt. You might be thinking, Claude, of course, is capable of crawling websites. So is ChatGPT. So why do I need to give it the homepage content? And why do I need to give it the Screaming Frog files? Now, Screaming Frog is completely free as long as you're doing 500 URLs or less. And for most local websites, there'll be fewer than 500 URLs. I have the unlocked version, but you would be able to do this exact same analysis with the free version of Screaming Frog. The reason we do that is the AI bots are not nearly as good at crawling websites as Google is. So if we asked it to run the analysis without giving it the crawl data, then the analysis we would get back would be very faulty. So instead, we give it crawl data and then ask it to do the analysis based on that crawl data. We get much better results. So it's finally starting to output some results here. So we know that we're missing some GBP category pages. We have category pages with title tag issues. So you want to update these title tag issues, giving us some gaps on homepage gaps. I guess I kept a plumbing mention, no problem. So I would rerun this obviously. And then we have a bunch of service page gaps where we're missing dedicated pages for a variety of them. And we have some internal linking structures. So we have a pretty good path forward here on what we're going to do to help fix this HVAC contractor's website. So now that this analysis is complete, and there's a few more service pages, things like that are missing, but this gives us a pretty good path forward for which pages we need to create to make sure the GBP is in complete alignment with the website. And for this particular HVAC contractor, it looks like they need probably around 30 additional pages of content from missing service pages particularly, even though they had 400 indexed URLs. You might be thinking, 30 pages of content, that'll take forever. And of course, that's what we used to think before AI could write a lot of the content for you. So let me show you the AI prompt that we use to write these category and service pages. And that's really our second component. We need to write this content that actually makes Google see you as a local business. We're going to use AI to write locally relevant content for each service, not generic HVAC advice. Content that mentions Kansas City neighborhoods, local weather patterns, specific building codes. Again, the AI prompt is in my school community, and it's going to create content that makes Google see you as generally local to that area. All right, so again, back in the classroom of my school community, and I'm going to scroll down and grab the content writing prompt. And it's set up for a plumbing website, but this is the same prompt that we use, so I'll copy it and I'll paste it in here. Now, I've already edited it for the HVAC company. I haven't changed this target keyword because I wanted this analysis first. So let's make the target keyword heating equipment supplier because we're missing that category page. The other changes I made it an HVAC company, comprehensive HVAC services, and made it specific to Fort Wayne and gave it the HVAC categories and services. So I'll ask it to run. You can see here I'm using Sonnet 4. Sonnet is going to be better at writing content than Opus. While this is going, I'll copy it here and I'll come on over to 0GPT, which is our AI detector. I'll paste it in and hit detect, and our text is human written. Now, a lot of agencies will see a 0GPT score like that and think they're done. This is a big mistake. They create all this AI content and wonder why Google still doesn't rank them. There's a hidden step that separates amateur hour from professional results. The third thing you have to do is prove to Google that it's not AI slop. Now, Google can't detect AI content, but it can detect low quality content. So we source medium quality links to every page we create. Not expensive links, just enough external validation to show Google this content has value. One link for every URL we create. It's easy to generate AI slop and post it online. Most of the people doing that aren't sourcing any external links to that slop because that's harder. Easy and fast doesn't usually win if there's at least 3 other competitors in your area willing to take one extra step. So I've seen agencies skip this step and watch them struggle to get any traction in improving rankings. One agency owner told me his client fired him after 2 months because nothing was working. He'd created beautiful content, but skipped this one step because it was too hard or too expensive. Well, over the years, I've built a network of sites that I use at my agency. You can get the same links that we use at the fulfillment website that I own, icecreamtruck.shop. Let me show you. This is the icecreamtruck.shop. If I go to our services and we hit 5 PBN links for $157, that's about $30 a link. Now here is where a lot of agencies think they're done, but there's a specific type of citation that's 10 times more powerful than the ones everyone else is getting. What you need, we call them super citations at my agency. They establish presence on 50 plus sites that are actually kind of hard to get. They require verification. Bing for Business, Apple Maps, BMW navigation system. These citations also help ChatGPT recommend you when people ask for local business recommendations. So here's what's interesting. Watch how many citations this tool I'm going to show you can actually get. and how quick and easy it is to get these verification required super citations. So I'm in LeadSnap again, and this is the same tool we used earlier to run the ranking map. But here, I'm going to grab one of my clients and show you how easy it is to use for citations. So going to hit citations, and then we can hit business details. And what we see is all of the information that's been pulled from the GBP. We can turn edit mode on and make these updates, make sure everything is accurate, make sure everything is filled out. Then all we need to do is tick this, and it's going to turn on my monthly subscription for citations. And I can actually come into citations and listings and see how many we have. Out of 51, 25 are live, 19 more were submitted, 7 are updated. None of them require any action. I put a link in the description if you want to try that LeadSnap tool for yourself. It is an affiliate link, but it will extend the free trial and give you half off the first 3 months if you use that link. So the final piece is one of the most powerful, but it's also one that separates agencies that get clients results in 2 weeks versus 6 months. This is what took that HVAC contractor from good results to incredible results. You need to build trust with powerful local links that prove you're embedded in the community. Join the local Chamber of Commerce, sponsor a youth baseball team, get listed on the city's preferred contractor directory. These aren't just links, these are massive signals of trust, both for Google and for AI bots like ChatGPT. I had another client, a personal injury attorney in New Orleans, and they were basically stuck at position 8 for 3 months. Then I joined the New Orleans Chamber of Commerce, and we sponsored the Bayou Bash, a local event in New Orleans, for this business. Overnight, he jumped to position 3. His first call the next morning was a case that they made $14,000 on. So let me show you what that looks like with another exact AI prompt. Here we are yet again in the school community. So I'm going to come down and grab the offsite analysis prompt. We'll give this to Claude, and then we want to make sure that we're doing Fort Wayne, Indiana for a local HVAC contractor business, and we'll hit run. All right, so the analysis is now done, and it is giving me all of the local ranks. It's giving me the Chamber of Commerce, Rotary Club, and all of these other organizations that I could join, events that I could sponsor, all of these very powerful local links that I could go after to rank this HVAC technician in Fort Wayne. Now look, I just gave you the exact system that took that HVAC contractor from invisible to fully booked. But if you're being honest with yourself, you already know ranking probably isn't your biggest challenge. None of this matters if you can't get clients in the door. I see agencies with incredible skills, amazing case studies, but they're struggling to even hit 10K a month because they have no idea how to land local clients. They can rank a business in 2 weeks, but they can't convince a business owner to pay them $2,000 a month for it. The ranking game is completely different from the client acquisition game. Different psychology, different objections, different sales process. So if you want to see the exact client acquisition system that got me 97 clients in 6 months, click this video right here before you waste another month with amazing skills but an empty bank account.